Up on my screen right now, you are looking at the Milanote app. Specifically, this is my own setup, and this is my main dashboard or my main home screen. Let's start over here on the left-hand side. I call this my currently column, so very self-explanatory. It's everything that I'm focusing on right now, kind of my top priorities. At the top here, I have just little reminders to myself. I occasionally put images on my home screen, I would say most of the time, unless I'm feeling really minimalist. Then we have sort of the boards that I'm focusing on right now. So right now we have just a mood board. So I do this at the end of every month or the start of every month. I'll go through and think, okay, what do I want this month to feel like? I figure out what I'm reading, the projects that I have, any deadlines, reminders to self. All of that goes into the mood board. And I revisit that from time to time. It's not a daily thing. It's just sometimes if I'm feeling meandering, I check back in with my monthly mood board. I left it December here for the sake of this tutorial, just to, again, show you sort of my workflow. So normally I would create this January mood board, which I did just a couple days ago. And then I simply would archive this old one. All I do is drag this over to this board I've created called Archive. Now we are in the archive board or folder, and you can see it's a mess. I don't really come in here very often. It's more if I need to search for something that I don't want to delete. Typically it lives over there in archive. So next, if we're coming back again to that currently column, I have a little to-do list right now. Now, again, this is first week of January. I don't have any imminent deadlines. I have nothing on the calendar. It's kind of like my dream week, but it's also pretty slow. So there's nothing majorly pressing on my to-do list. I don't have that many to-do, but I also included this board here. Again, this is just for the tutorial. This is back from obviously last year in October. If I have a busy week, sometimes this little simple to-do list is not going to cut it. So for example, if I click into this particular board, I use this template a lot, and I have actually another video where I show you how I set this up. The point being is Milanote is wonderfully flexible, and I don't have the same process every day or every week or every month. It depends on kind of the season of where I am in terms of how busy things are. So let's come back to the home screen here. Next up, we have another shortcut. Again, a little quick demo for the sake of this video. So this is just a couple weeks ago. We didn't go anywhere. It was a nice quiet holiday, but we went crazy on the food. So I was trying to figure out, okay, what do we want to do for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or anniversary, and so on. And so I ended up using this particular format. That is my dog barking. I'm probably not going to edit it out. We're just going to embrace Bailey. Speaking of holidays, Bailey turned 19 on December 22nd. So we're going to let Bailey bark there in the background. Anyway, so this is the holiday board. Again, this is something I don't need anymore, so it is archived, but I just wanted to show you again how flexible Milanote can be in its layouts depending on your needs. Next, we have Fridge Rules. That is the working title of a novel I'm currently writing. It is shared. That's that little icon because I'm writing it with my husband, and it is due on April 1st. So this is kind of our project board. We don't do the actual writing in Milanote, although I've definitely thought about it. That happens in kind of a dedicated writing app called Ulysses. But this is where we keep, the brainstorm. You can see the mood board, the outline. Switching over now to my pillars column. I used to call this areas, but I just like pillars better. It's pretty self-explanatory. So lately I have been working on sort of nonfiction writing, for lack of a better word. So like little essays, thoughts to myself. I've been toying around with writing a memoir, poetry. Next up is the inbox. Again, that's kind of self-explanatory. Some of these aren't even complete thoughts, but this is where I put things like a random idea that pops in my head, a FedEx tracking link. Sometimes I'll draft an email there. And then I go through the inbox every week, maybe every month, and clear things out. But sometimes there's something where I think I might want it later, but I'm not sure. That goes in the junk drawer. I don't actually come in here very often. It's just if there's something that I don't think I want to lose, but I don't know where it goes in the junk drawer. Projects. This is kind of just more of a functions as a navigational board for me. Lauren Ledon, this is specific to, I'm Lauren Ledon, but this is specific to my brand. So this is where I have obviously all my color codes. I'm working on rebranding, fonts, all my website links, blog post, content ideas, hopefully YouTube videos if I keep going with this. All of that lives in here. Lauren Lane is my pen name. So I am my day job is a romance author, and everything related to that lives there. Next, we have this column that I'm calling spirituality, which I don't think is the best name for it. But in addition to being in my slow living era, I'm also kind of in my witchy woo era. It happened when I turned 40. I'm like all of a sudden into astrology and tarot. I'm really into like poetry, shadow work. All that stuff kind of goes here. And it's basically just anything I've learned about astrology. I'll click into one of these for you. So you can kind of see this is obviously a very busy board, and it's got also a lot of subboards with a ton of information. What I can eventually see this column being is actually maybe my compendium. So basically all my learning I would like to put into this column and boards, but that's kind of in a work in progress. And then over here on the right-hand side, we have reference, and this is probably the closest to just like basic note keeping. Saved links is, and again, this is another new thing for me. Basically just stuff I found on the internet. I'm really enjoying putting it in Milanote instead of, just bookmarking it in my browser. Wish list is things that I've maybe like seen that I either can't afford right now, I'm not sure that I need, or maybe birthday ideas. My reading board gets a lot of love. This is another just messy one where we can say everything I read in 2025, what I'm reading in 2026. It's only January 4th right now, so we've only got the one book. And then I also keep all my individual book notes here. As well as, like apparently these other books that I like to cover as covers and would eventually like to read, my wish list. Then we have ideas. Not going to click into that, but that's anytime I get an idea for a course or a future book. A code. This is a fun one. I have kind of a side hustle and a passion project for website design. So anytime I need to like save just a little snippet of CSS or something I'm playing around with, I just dump it in there. Recipes. Now, this is, I think, such a great example of where Milanote shines is my approach to recipe keeping. So I do not care enough to go through and keep track of which recipe have I cooked, have I not cooked, which is lunch, which is dinner, what's an appetizer, what's the cuisine, how well did I like it. I don't care about any of that. And when I'm hungry, I open this and I scan and I click the one that appeals to me. That's the extent of my recipe organization. And then lastly, we have just this archive board. That's all old boards, all old ideas just get dumped in there very unceremoniously. So that is my Milanote dashboard. If you have any other requests for Milanote content, please put it in the comments below. Tiny little backstory here. I did 3 Milanote videos about a year ago, promptly forgot all about it because I'm a writer, not a YouTuber, and I thought nobody possibly wants to watch this screen share of an app that not that many people know about. But then I was doing my digital declutter at the end of the year, kind of realized I had a YouTube channel, but then I also had thousands of views, as well as a lot of you saying, hey, we want more Milanote content. So I am here for more Milanote content. I've been using this app for 10 plus years. I absolutely love it. If you have anything specific you want me to cover, please let me know. And in the meantime, I will brainstorm some ideas as well. Thanks so much, and I hope this was helpful.